Hey guys, hey YouTube, hey internet people. I just want to point something out there because I'm a very good pattern recognizer. I have molded my life and lived my life under dehumanizing conditions for a long time. I won't go into all of my traumas and woes, but let's just say I've lived the hardest possible life you can live in the Western world. My life has been essentially being intelligent and being good under almost the most dehumanizing conditions you can possibly get. And that's actually concerning because my family started out wealthy. And despite that, I grew up in despair and poverty, despite most of my family being those one percenters you don't really love very much, right? So I can tell you I've lived on both sides of the coin and I've seen a lot of things and I've learned to notice patterns my whole life. I've always been really good at them and I won't go into specifics about that. That's for another video. What I can tell you is that a good trick with pattern recognition and not being deceived is to know what you don't know and what's not being feeded. Whenever someone only feeds you one narrative, that's usually a sign that there's deception. It's also, for example, if you only see one thing all the time, there's a problem there. And seeing as when it comes to sad facts that usually drive people nuts, if they're not strong enough to cope with them, the thought, I will never be rich, used to be something you never heard. It used to be just bulk up and work harder. Now you hear it all the time. The truth, you will never be rich outside of marriage. Now, the other problem with this, you will never find love. It's not your fault. It's not that you're ugly. It's you just won't because it's tied to wealth. In fact, you will never have anything. But one of the things is nobody's going to love you. One of the things I learned is that when I was a spoiled rich kid and my dad had money to basically pay people to like me, that's the only reason why anybody, let alone a woman, would ever date you. Nobody loves you. Nobody cares. Even your own family is just going to throw you the fuck away. And it's not just me. It's everybody. You have no access to money. Did you know that you have no access to the truth? The only way to know the truth for a poor person is to just use your common sense because you have no access to the facts. Sure, that some of the facts are out there, about 5% of them, and it's growing over time. But behind the scenes, with that 5%, is only available to experts because 80% of that knowledge is buried. Unless you're capable of reasoning past a little while, you might be able to get a little bit by being in a society like Mensa or Borderline or whatever. If you have a high IQ, the algorithm might respond to you like that. If you use a Tor or some other more truthful router, you might get a little bit more. But you don't have access to basically the truth without reasoning. The only way to know the truth is to have a fair and balanced, reasonable view, and you don't even have access to that all the time. So if they're not even giving you access to truth, knowledge, you're going to deprive them of a basic education, something so fundamental to mental health, like to basically being able to be reasonable. Why would they give you love? Love is fundamental to being emotionally whole. You actually can't do anything emotionally well. You can't take care of things or be happy without love and money. And why they've already deprived you of the first two. Why would you ever reasonably hope to get the other two? So what you need to understand about despair is actually echoed by the Buddha and other people. You want to know how you deal with it? You give the fuck up. You let go. You understand that you're not going to have happiness and you won't achieve happiness. You won't achieve anything, but you won't make your life worse. The goal shouldn't be to get better. The goal should be to not fuck it up even worse than it already is. It's FUBAR. The entire system's rigged and there's no going forward. There's only two ways outside of democratic socialism winning, and it won't win. It just won't. I think everyone would have to go along with it, and even if 99% of us rally up against the 1%, and everyone votes for the Democratic Socialists in office, that would be one way. But then again, we would have to see a blue wave. There might be a blue wave, actually, but it would have to be a big enough blue wave that you see very few people in power that are like Trump's team, or really any other team other than a moderate Democratic Socialist, meaning that it's not necessarily the more toxic parts of woke culture, but it's open enough to that it basically establishes what they're calling democratic socialism, which is more accurately known as infrastructure control. It isn't truly communism and it isn't truly socialism because it has no state control. It's more of anarcho open access economy with an extreme emphasis on infrastructure control and affordability of life. You might, if that happens, maybe. But if you assume that that's probably not happen, that rich and powerful people will never willingly surrender their crowns, assume you are a slave. Assume you'll never get anything in life. Assume, cry about it, meditate on it, calm yourself, find some place where it's okay to sing your heart out or whatever, and then silence yourself because they've already stolen your voice and they've already stolen your future. Give the fuck up. I have, and this is why my thing is why I have given up on life, love, and everything else, and you should too. We should all give the fuck up. If everyone just stops and gives up, not just on work, not just on school, not just on love, but gives up playing the game entirely, then society will be forced because it will collapse. And it will collapse either way. Give up, wait for it to collapse, and when in the rubble will rise.